Modern legal systems typically rely on the concept of universal equality. We expect a centralized state to apply a single set of rules to every citizen, regardless of their social standing. However, the ancient Indian legal tradition operates on an entirely different set of mechanics. The Manusmriti is one of the most influential texts of the Dharma Shastra. It presents a radical alternative to the post-Enlightenment model of human rights, prioritizing different variables to achieve justice. These ancient palm leaf manuscripts contain the recorded code. The etched script detail reveals a complex system of rules dictating everything from governance and family life to specific court procedures. Modern legal minds often assume that law is a product created by the state. In this ancient framework, the law exists independent of the state. The king does not author the law. He inherits a system that is already in place. Within these chapters, legal statute, moral duty, and social hierarchy function as a single unified mechanism. To follow the law is to fulfill one's cosmic role. We are going to deconstruct this architecture, moving from its philosophical foundation to its specific applications in statecraft, the economy, and the structure of the family. To accurately analyze ancient Indian jurisprudence, we have to look past our own notions of individual rights and examine a system engineered entirely for the preservation of cosmic order. Every legal code rests on a specific base axiom. For the Manusmriti, that non-negotiable bedrock is Dharma. Dharma is broader than our modern concept of religion. It integrates moral behavior, justice, and social responsibility into one foundation for all individuals. Legal compliance and religious devotion are indivisible here. Following a statutory rule is the exact same act as fulfilling a religious duty. This fusion raises the stakes of every interaction. Breaking a law is categorized as a cosmological violation against the moral order of the universe, rather than a simple secular offense. While secular law generally polices physical actions and property, the Manusmriti governs the mind and the soul of the subjects under its jurisdiction. Because the entire foundation is built to maintain this cosmic duty, the legal rules prioritize the preservation of that duty over human notions of fairness. This structural framework is built on the four-tiered Varna system: the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. In this system, legal rights and civic duties are not universal. They are strictly mapped to an individual's specific tier within this pyramid. This results in a system of asymmetrical justice. The scales are intentionally weighted by design. Punishments scale dynamically based on the Varna of both the offender and the victim. Two people committing the same crime will receive different sentences determined by their social class. This stratification defines every interaction. The text codifies a world where authority and dependency are legally enforced based on birth and status. Manu treats this dynamic scaling as a necessary component of a perfect society. It is the intended function of the code. The result is a mathematically rigid legal system where human inequalified reality. Chapters 7 and 8 shift the focus towards statecraft and the specific role of the king. The king does not have the authority to invent new laws. He serves as the highest judge and the protector of the pre-existing dharma. To maintain this order, the text introduces Danda, the theory of punishment. Danda is a strict tool of discipline, used to brutally enforce societal order. It relies on the threat and application of force, rather than focusing on the rehabilitation of the individual. The king's judgment is an algorithmic calculation, weighing the crime, intent, and Varna position. If the king fails to judge correctly, the consequences are severe. An incorrect judgment fractures the state and violates the cosmic moral order. The sovereign holds absolute power over his subjects, but that power is entirely tied to his ability to comply with religious law. This hierarchical system also governs civil matters, including loans, contracts, and economic regulations. Financial activities are treated as moral issues. The code dictates the duties of both lenders and borrowers, stressing honesty as a legal requirement. Chapter 8 applies these principles to judicial procedure and the specific rules regarding evidence. Witnesses play a critical role in reaching judicial decisions, but they are not viewed as equal observers. A witness's validity and the weight of their statement are measured by their Varna, their character, and their social status. External markers of status and authority determine legal validity. In this framework, social standing dictates the truth. In the court of the Manusmriti, objective facts are subordinate to social hierarchy. Not all testimony is treated with equal legal weight. Chapter 9 moves the focus to the basic unit of society, the family and the institution of marriage. The text establishes a model of total dependency for women throughout their lives, placing them under the authority of their fathers, then their husbands, and finally their sons. These laws dictated the daily lives and social boundaries of the women within this system. Women have strictly limited rights regarding property ownership and independent decision-making. These limitations extend to inheritance laws. Property and wealth are designed to pass almost exclusively to male heirs. The logic behind these restrictions is the stability of the patriarchal lineage. Maintaining a disciplined, unbroken family line is the primary legal goal. The family is structured as a microcosm of the state. It is a rigid hierarchy designed to subordinate individual autonomy for the sake of stability. When we view this operating system as a whole, from its cosmological foundation to the smallest family unit, the ultimate goal becomes clear. In the world of the Manusmriti, individual freedom is secondary to social harmony and discipline. Law functions as a tool for total behavioral control, keeping societies stable and in alignment with religious duty. There is a massive divergence between these strict, unequal rules and modern frameworks of human rights. However, the text remains an essential blueprint for understanding the legal and moral priorities of ancient India. The Manusmriti illustrates that a legal code functions as the physical blueprint of a society's moral priorities and its systemic prejudices.